Hey guys, Rich here. Welcome back to another Brick Scene Classic review. Today we're going to be looking at set number 10236. It is, of course, the Ewok Village. So welcome back. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like this sort of stuff, give it a thumbs up too. So the Ewok Village, set number 10236. It was, of course, released in 2013. 1,990 pieces. It came with 17 minifigures, 5 which are unique to the set. It would have cost you $250 US or £200. I guess that would probably be about the 350 to 400 New Zealand dollar mark. So look, I've been building this set over a couple of live streams, and it is our 2-year anniversary, and we have been lucky enough to get a sealed version of the set. Some of you may know we've been running a giveaway. We will, of course, give the second code word to that giveaway at some point in this video. So make sure you stay tuned, pick up that code word, and enter as per the details below. But once again, a big thanks to my friend at Caden's Bricklink store for supplying the set to give away. It is a sealed version. The version that I am going to review is, of course, my own. So look, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So here's the final model. You can see it's quite a big one. It's built up over 4 trees with, of course, that platform spanning 3 of them, and the rope bridge there going over to the 4th tree on the left-hand side. 17 minifigs as mentioned, so it looks quite substantial in there. There's a lot going on. I also really like the use of the different colors, the different browns, and of course the different greens and tans as well to really give it a bit of texture there. The openings are all done in that lighter tan to sort of, so almost give it that sort of cutaway wood feel to it. I quite like it. I like it. But there's a lot going on in this set, so let's get stuck into some of the features. So we'll go through things in the order that you build them, and we'll start with the speeder bike. Look, it's a fairly tried and tested version of the speeder bike, this time in brown, of course, because we're on Endor. We've seen quite a few versions that come with the Assault on Hoth, of course, and the AT-AT that would have come out probably not long prior to that even. But fairly simple in design. I do like the little clear dish that they've got there to make a stand for it to get it up off the ground. Just a nice little touch to make it look it's flying or in motion. Now, next up, you build this little catapult. Now, this is actually quite a good catapult. We've seen Lego build quite a few catapults over the years, but this one actually works quite well. Fairly simple in design, of course, with the actual build, but it's using this little rubber piece in there. I don't know what they're called, but heck, it's giving the bounce for this. So I'll show you how it works. So you just chuck it in there. I'll hold that down, and off it goes. It works quite well. You can obviously get it to go much further than that, but I'm working within a limited space here. So no, it's pretty good. I quite like it. Nice simple design, nice extra thing to have as well with the set. Now coming on to the actual village, and we'll start with this side over here because this is the tree that you start with, and of course the bridge is actually something that you do last, but you have to take the bridge apart, which is quite easy. It just pulls out. There's a couple of little Technic pins holding it in there. So we'll start with this one over here on the left-hand side, which is the shortest of the trees. I like the way they're using all those different brown slope pieces, all the different browns actually, to give it different textures, but all those different slope pieces going on, slightly different angles to sort of simulate that trunk there as well as little plant pieces sticking out as well. I like the green at the bottom. We're using that olive green plant piece. You'll see there's more sort of bits on the ground as well to give some ground coverage. I think it works really well. There's those little sort of toadstools on the left-hand side there as well. They're a dark tan color with printing on them. Coming up, you've got that ladder on the left-hand side, which is 2 of those rope pieces with the little bar pieces in them with just droid arms, dark brown droid arms, same as along that barrier along the central section there as well. Those dark brown droid arms, I broke one, and some others are looking a bit sketchy as well. This is obviously the era where Lego had problems with that dark brown as well as the dark red as well. Now coming up to the entranceway there, again that light tan giving the sort of, I guess, where the wood would be cut to create the entrance. I quite like that effect. And of course you've got all the foliage up there on the top as well with those, those swamp sort of, I think they're used underwater as well as sort of underwater plants, but I like the way they hang down as well to give it that different sort of type of foliage up top. Dark tan palm leaves as well. I don't think we've seen those in many sets, and a couple of flames there on either side too. You can see that detail just carries on around to the back there on the trunk, and of course the little bits of foliage down the bottom. Coming up to the center section there as well, there's not too much going on inside there, but there is a play feature which I'll show you in just a second. Again, coming up to the top, you can see the way they've designed the trees. It's quite blocky and quite square, but it works. It does work, and I think with the actual foliage that they've got going on there, it gives enough of a tree-like effect. Now this play feature is quite simple. It's just like an escape slide for the Ewoks there. What you do is you stand your Ewok in there and you pull this out, and the Ewok slides down and comes out the other side. If we come in and take a look at this larger section, and we'll start down the bottom with these tree trunks, you'll see they're all fairly similar in the way they're put together, but they do house different secrets, some different play features with each of them, and we'll start with this one. The spider, of course, probably gives it away, and that web poking out, but you've got this little lever down here on this underside. You push that, and it basically puts that spider web out to catch some unsuspecting speeder bike rider or something similar. But look, a nice little play feature. You can just pop it away quite easily. Coming across, you can see that ground coverage I was talking about there, just using the different leafy sort of type elements. A couple more of those dark tan toadstools with the print, some of those vine pieces as well, just to give it a bit of texture. I think it works really, really well. Now let's have a look at this trunk. You can see there's a couple of steps up there. There's a little secret hatch that you just pull up, and there's a little spot you can go inside there. You can see there's a little love heart with some text going on the inside there. And over on this side, you've got another sticker there with a scout trooper and of course a bunch of kill counts. I just turn it around here. This back one is just a little door which you open up, and there's a couple of clip pieces in there for your spears or blasters, I guess, if the rebels were going to hide theirs in there. Now while we're down here, we'll take a look at this feature with these two logs that come together. Anyone who's seen Return of the Jedi will remember that scene when they come in and they take out the cab of that ATST. These are a bit low to be taking out any ATST anytime soon, but it is a pretty cool play feature. There's a little mechanism on the other side that you just push that opens them up, and then you pull it again. So as you can see, it's just using that piece in there to push them out and let them close. Very simple. Now, if we come up onto the main platform, you can see there's a lot of little scenes happening here, from the rotisserie thing that Han Solo gets put on over the fire. There's the drums there. There's the helmets from the end scene, that the Ewoks are banging away on when they're partying. Up there on the right-hand side, you've got 3PO's seat when they think he's some sort of god. That's quite an interesting little thing. It's just put on a little clear piece, which you can have so that it's sitting right down in here, or you can have it clipped in at the back up there as well, to give it that impression that it's flying around with 3PO on it. You've also got a couple of posts up the back there that you can tie your figures to, as well as if they're being held captive. A couple of little barrels sitting in front of those to hold weapons, and the drumsticks for banging on those helmets with too. All in all, look, a lot happening on this little small platform. So up on top of the platform, you've obviously got the Ewok village, or the actual living quarters for the Ewoks as well. So you've got three sections, each with their own thing going on, but we'll start with this side. And you've got the steps going up to this sort of balcony area, I guess, with this barrier going around. Again, those dark brown droid arms, be careful with those. You've got a torch there on the left-hand side, and a couple of those dark tan big palm leaves to shade the entrance, if you like. Now they turn around, they're all on these little turntable pieces, and you can see how they've used the droid arms there to make it all work. Down the bottom, you've got what looks like a little bed, another torch there on the left hand side, and a little table. Up on the top section, it looks like you've got your weapons in there, and also a little diagram showing a spear, as well as that little paraglider contraption that they use to fly around too. So look, nice little piece of detail in there. That is a sticker piece as well. Now, if we come across to this side, this one is more of a cooking area, I guess, and that would be why you've got the net off the side as well, which is just hanging there. You can fit two minifigs in there. I've got Chewie and R2-D2 sitting in there at the moment, but the net just hangs on those pieces, those little hook pieces that come off. There's no mechanism to wind it up or anything like that, but you can pull the string through and attach it to a stud on the other side over there. If I turn it around, you've got a big cooking pot there over the fire. You've got a carrot in that sack there to the side, and some more cooking ingredients up there in that barrel. Now the third one is just a small one. It's not got any great height to it, but it has a couple of things going on. Same sort of entranceway with a couple of torches on either side and those palm leaves covering the entrance. And you can see there's a bit of a fire in there, maybe a bit of a meeting room or something like that, a couple of torches on either side. There's also another catapult up top. This one here, you just basically got to push that and it sends them flying. Now, if I put it back together, you can see there's that rope suspension bridge as well, using those 2x2 jumper plates to give those minifigs a stud to stand on. But it's very cleverly put together, and it definitely brings the two pieces together really, really nicely. All right, so let's get into the minifigs. First up, we've got the Scout Trooper. We get two of these. I like the Scout Trooper, actually. This one has got some really nice printing on that torso, into the hips, and of course the printing on the legs as well. It's got a single mold helmet with that visor that's been cut out. We've got a black minifig head in there, which I'll show you in a second, but he comes with that short blaster. Printing on the back as well. There's a little line of blue there as well, which just gives it a bit of color. I like that. It really stands out and makes the detail on the back of this torso really pop. And if I remove that helmet, you can see it's one of those black helmets with that devious looking face in there. Yeah, you can have the face showing through the visor if you really want, but you kind of have to put these heads on backwards in order to have the black visor. So next up is the Stormtrooper, a tried and tested variant of the Stormtrooper. I probably only like one version better, the version that came after this with the leg printing, but you know, this one was definitely a standout for me. Comes with that medium blaster. I like the helmet shape on this one. It's probably the better helmet shape, much better than the most recent ones. Nice detailing, of course, on that torso. And of course, you can see there's more printing on the back, a couple of different colors there to give it a bit of contrast. And the Stormtroopers also come with that funny head. You can get the helmet on the right way with this one because, of course, you can't see the face through the helmet itself. So next up, we've got Princess Leia. This is a really nice minifig, this one. Exclusive to the set, of course. Look, nice detailing, that hairpiece with the braids that come all the way down to her waist. And sort of look, a little sort of knot done with rope there on the front of that torso. We've also got that cloth piece that looks like kind of like rags, if you like, to go around the waist there, and of course her legs showing on the bottom. And you can see that the length of that hair, it goes all the way down to the waist, and of course that cloth piece or that material piece that goes all the way around to the back as well. We also have an alternative face, and you can see the printing on the back there too. Simple printing, but it's mostly covered up by the hair anyway. Next up is Han Solo. This is a great Han Solo. I actually really like this version. It's got that old style hairpiece, but we've got some really nice printing on that jacket there. And of course that printing on the hip piece and into the legs too. He of course comes with his short blaster. And if we just turn him around, you can see there's more printing on the back of that torso too. There's no alternative face with this minifigure. Next up, of course, is Chewbacca. It's that old version of Chewbacca. We've got better versions of him since, but he comes with that simple bowcaster. This is before the stud shooter version, so, you know, crossbow piece that we've had in plenty of versions before. Under this light, it looks like I've got two different browns going on there. So there's the back of him there, and you can see that silver printing carries on right around to the back as well. Next up, we've got C-3PO. I like this version of C-3PO too. It's only been bettered by one that's come out with printing on the legs, but that pearl gold color, some really nice details on that torso with the colors there for the different wires. And if I just turn him around, you can see that detail carries on through to the back as well. A really nice C-3PO. Those colored wires showing just really make the details on this one pop. So next up, R2-D2, and of course this is a bit of an older one. It seems like we've had the same one for such a long time. But the head on this one is that lighter sort of silvery grey colour. The blue looks a bit lighter as well. Still some nice details on the main body of R2-D2 there. There's some detailing on the back of the head there, but nothing on the rest of the torso. Next we have the first of two Rebel Commandos. This one is the clean-cut shaven version. He has that open jacket in the dark tan with the camo piece and of course the belt. You can see the detail carries on round, of course, and you can see the back of that hood. No printing on the legs, but of course he comes with that long rifle style blaster as well. Now here's the second of our Rebel Commandos. This guy's got the bullet belt going across his chest there, a camo open jacket, and of course that bright red beard. He also has that big long rifle style blaster. And if I turn him around, you can see those details of the belts carry on round to the back, as well as the hood from the jacket as well. All right, next up, the first of our Ewoks, we've got Wicket. Wicket is, of course, brown with that orange hood. There's a little stitching detail across the top of the hood. And, of course, the face is all painted out as well to give it the detail. We've seen some Ewoks in the past that are just simply a mold, and I think they look awful in comparison to these ones. He comes with a spear and those short legs that don't move. You can see the hood just carries onto the back there. No other major details on the back there. Now, the second of our Ewoks is simply titled Ewok Warrior. Same mold as Wicket. This one comes with a bow and arrow. We're in that dark tan with the olive green hood and some detailed stitching. And if I just turn him around here, you can see that olive hood carries onto the back as well. But like I said, exactly the same mold as Wicket. Up next, we've got T-Bow. Now, T-Bow is a little bit different because we've got, in the mold there, we've got that satchel and, of course, that really, really nice headpiece. It's obviously grey with the little white streaks in there and those olive green lips. But you can see that hood is slightly different, and of course those little painted details carry on through the back. He just comes with a spear, but another nice little minifig. Next is Chief Chirper. Now, Chief Chirper again comes with the same mold as Wicket, this time with a grey with a brown hood. A couple of little details painted into the hood there. Also has that staff that's sort of built up with that brown flower piece and grey feather piece at the top, but no major details on the back, just the same sort of colouring carrying on round. Next is Logray. Now, Logray uses the same mold as T-Bow. It's just different colorings to give it a completely different look, to be honest. But again, has that satchel and that sort of skull sort of design on the hood. It also has a staff with an upside down feather and a sort of claw piece coming off the back of it. And there you can see the back of that hood with some grey detailing and of course those white stripes going down the back of the body piece. Now, last but definitely not least is Luke Skywalker. He's, of course, got his black hand in this one. No printing on the legs, but we have got some nice printing on the torso there with the belt and that open flap on the shirt. Now, if I just turn him around, you can see the alternative face as well as the detailing on the back of that torso. So what an awesome set it is. And I think, even in this day and age, I mean, it would be under the Master Builder series these days, but I think it holds up. I think it holds up. There are a couple of newer versions of trees where we've got different types of foliage, which I think if they were going to do it again, we'd probably get quite a different sort of tree canopy, if you like. But overall, I think the set holds up. You know, there's some great minifigs in there. There's a huge amount of minifigs. The size of the set is quite a substantial set as well. And that price point too, at the time, $250 US, £200, that was a pretty good price. You certainly wouldn't get it for that these days. Hey, so look, thanks for checking out this review. Make sure you subscribe, hit like, all that cool stuff. And a big thanks again to my buddy at Caden's Bricklink store for giving us a brand new sealed version of this to give away. Whoa, you thought I forgot to give you the code there. No, I was just making sure that you watched the entire video. Here is the code. Once again, a huge thanks to my buddies at Caden's Bricklink store. Really appreciate it. Make sure you check out all the details below and enter the giveaway correctly. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.